going to be a little bit of tech talk on ports, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right. I
guess
click.
I try not to geek out too bad.
No.
I have
You
a
can
problem that when I get to talking about it, a lot of times I think faster than I talk. So,
no, we're
I'll get all jumbled up after a point.
you can talk you can get as geeky as you want because I think people appreciate geeky.
Hmm.
And I'm geeky. Skip's gonna he'll nod off.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Yeah.
I like geeky.
people say they like geeky until they're on the receiving end of it, and then and then you're just an asshole. So,
Right. Until they have to
you're just
watch it.
trying to talk over everybody, apparently.
Until they have to watch it for an hour. Then they're like, nah.
No.
Get to the meat.
Yeah, like when y'all had Jacob Fuller on, I was watching some of that, and there was a few
Oh
times
yeah.
he really geeked out, and I remember thinking, this is the kind of discussion we really need,
Right.
because people are actually learning stuff.
Right.
Right, whether they want to or not, we're just gonna force feed them.
Yeah, I mean it works.
Yeah, it does. I like that part.
So we're live.
I like the geeky part.
Oh yeah,
Oh, we're live.
Yeah. We live.
Jason Royd, #1, first in
Oh.
the chat. Holler.
I'm trying to tag everybody, make a new post on there. But who we got today, bro? Who we got on the pod today?
Who is this?
Who is this
Anybody in here recognize this old boy?
stranger? that was your key to introduce yourself.
Yeah, that was you. That was you.
Oh,
It's like handing the ball off right there.
I guess you. Well, I'm Benjamin Galley from BigAss Ports. So now you know who I am.
There you go. And you're no stranger to making live videos.
Yeah.
No, I have a bad habit of doing it when I get kind of angry about stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, just for some opinions.
I can't.
Yeah, some of them unpopular, but
Well, that's that. I mean, what's the point in sharing popular opinions?
yeah, right. Nobody talks about that.
Sorry, I'm trying to make a post so people see it.
Yeah, well, last week I stuck with the just the thing, and it didn't show me any of the comments. Here we go. Jason Roy, what up, T Fade? He say, yo.
Oh,
Dan Kern says, yo, Ben, what up?
I'm trying to.
Are you watching the comments?
I can't see them.
If you pull up on your phone, you have to look at the. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you can't click on the notification. Apparently, you have to actually go to the video.
Yeah.
It says Skip01 is watching. That's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it really say that?
It really does. Well, it says your Christian name.
Oh. So yeah, we got big ass ports in the building.
Big ass
Yeah,
port.
I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing set up where I can see what y'all are seeing, but I can't figure it out. So.
No, don't worry about it. Skip's got you. He got your handle up. You look good on the video.
Yeah.
Looking real good.
Nah, no call-ins today, Dan. We got a guest.
No call-ins, boy.
We'll get back to that.
Unless Jason DeClue wants to call in.
Ooh.
We'll hear his side of the story.
Or another. I would like. I don't know. I'll bring that up later.
I get the feeling that I'd really like to be able to see the comments right now.
Well, if we see anything,
Yeah.
well, pull it up on your phone. If we see anything crazy, we'll shout it out to you.
All right, cool.
So I wanted to start off the just regular news. We try something new. Start off with regular news first. Stuff that we've seen in the last couple of days, and then we'll get into your story, per se. So I seen
top news story.
Yeah, top news story. Dun dun dun. Breaking.
Yeah, we need like a thing.
I don't know if it's breaking since we ain't been on in a week, but I seen who posted? Big D posted Bolan audio closed. Closed the doors.
Right. I mean, he didn't close the doors.
Right. I seen all kind of different stories, but I seen something about he was locked out of the building.
Yeah, he got locked out by his partner, I guess. I don't know, man. It's such a weird, fishy story. I don't know. Some people are saying that Bernie didn't pay his rent, and then there's other stories that the I don't know how to pronounce the other guy's name, the money, quote unquote, money man's name.
Oh yeah, Mushafa.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm not even gonna try. But, that he locked him out, and now he's trying to like scam everybody. I don't know what the crap is going on, man. But I'll tell you what, I was like this close to buying a few of those amps because, first of all, I'm nostalgic. Second of all, if you talk to any amp manufacturers these days, they're going to tell you that today's amps are better than yesteryears.
Mm-hmm.
So
I honestly don't even know what Bolan audio is. Like,
well, if
I don't either.
Thank you.
Obviously, all right. Well, Bernie Bolan is responsible for the old Red Orions and all the Orions, basically.
Mm.
And if you haven't, yeah. So he started
making some newer models similar to that or something.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have similar aesthetics,
right?
You know what I mean. But the guy just obviously knows how to design a kick-ass amp.
Mm-hmm.
So
he did a pre-order or something, or
yeah, he did a bunch of pre-orders, and then he had. What's funny is like he had a lot of good ideas about how to make his amps modular, just running the same heat sink, and then like changing it up for certain boards and whatnot to make the different size amps and stuff, which sounds like a fantastic idea, which a lot of people are giving him shit for making too many models because there's 3 like really different, aesthetics. But if you haven't watched Big D and Vegas podcast 12 Volt Talk on YouTube, you should check that out. Check out the interview with Bernie Bolan. He goes into way, way, way deeper than we're going to touch on here. But Bernie Bolan, he tell you his whole friggin' backstory. But the one thing that I will mention here that is in one little nugget, because we all love the Red Orions. Anybody who's older than 12 years old, the HTCA part, it used to stand for, we all think it stands for high current competition. But it used to stand for high current class A. And he built those amps specifically to piss off Rockford Fosgate because they wouldn't change the competition classes from 0 to 45 watts and 45 or 46 to 90 watts. He was like, dude, just make it 50 watts, 0 to 50 and 50 to 100. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, screw that, because Fosgate was dominating. So he's like, all right, well, I'll make this amp. And it's and the other funny thing is the 225, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks it's 2 by 25, but it actually started out as 22.5. So it was a 45 watt amp.
So you're on 2 channel? Okay.
Yeah. 45 watt amp, 22.
One of those, that exact amp, I believe it was.
I feel like everybody did.
Yeah, those were great. I loved them.
Amazing. Those things, oh my god.
So what did they truly put out back then?
I think
a couple hundred
tested it, right? Like 400 watts or something.
How low did he dip the ohm load on it?
Well, I don't actually. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I haven't seen Big D's testing of it. Because
I know way back in the day, we used to load those things down pretty insane, and I mean, it wasn't exactly insane by today's standards, but at that time, you were just crazy for doing it, because. Back in the late 90s and stuff, people weren't wiring at a half ohm every day or even every week. So.
Yeah. Sure, even 1 ohm. Even 1 ohm was like, oh my God, right? Fire.
Dude, some of the sound streams, like the old school sound streams, were rated at a quarter ohm.
I know there was a Sony mids amp that was rated at a half ohm too. Some kind of gold one. I don't know. But
yeah, so that's that. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope everybody on it. And here's the beautiful part, right?
Your internet sucks.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bernie has such a following that everyone just wants their amps. Like they're not worried about their money. Like most of them, they're not worried about their money. They want their amps, and I love that.
I wonder why some people said they saw it coming though.
Like, I actually asked that question. I think my comment got deleted.
Oh,
Ryan,
Big D, you out there deleting comments? Yeah, he said
Ryan Poundstone said he saw it coming, and some other people said he saw it coming. I don't know. I
Like he just got over his head or something, or
I don't know. The only red flag that I saw is if you go to his Facebook, there was like no ads for sale. There's no website. There's no nothing. Like if you go to their Facebook or try to look for pictures, there was nothing. You know. So I don't know. That was a red flag for me, and it was actually what kept me from ordering any ants because there was like nothing. I mean, you know what I mean? It was just like weird.
No product.
Yeah, it sounds a little strange to me.
Yeah, it is odd.
For as big of a name as he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that closed. I didn't know much about it, so it didn't affect me at all. I just seen people talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of thousands and thousands of dollars people are owed.
I hope he didn't just scam somebody. I mean, like, there's a real reason, you know, like not just.
Bernie's posting updates about it every day. Like every single day.
Oh, that's good.
Posting, okay, this is what I know today. This is what I know today. This is what I know today. And he's like, and he's telling, look, if you're owed money, file a fraud report with your credit card, and call the Mesa, Arizona police. Blah blah blah. So he's trying. He's trying. Anyway, what else you got? What else happened this week?
I don't know. Maybe that's enough of news. People want to hear about ports.
I think so.
They're calling for it in the comments.
I think what people want to know is, how do you make them? Tell us all about it. Tell us exactly
the exact step-by-step process, sir.
I don't want to go too far in all of that stuff.
No, we're just kidding.
You know, it's really it's not like what a lot of people think. You know, and I have such a weird process the way I make them, and the big thing that typically shocks people is the amount of pressure that's used in making them. Like with an 8-inch port, I'm using upward of 20,000 pounds of pressure to form that flare. And you know, with the 10s, obviously, you know, for those, the way I do them, I want to be up there closer to 30,000 pounds.
So,
so there's no
press them.
Yeah, there's no heat, or
there's heat involved.
Okay.
There's heat involved in it.
We're getting somewhere.
But you know, and even the heating process is so complex, you know, with the way you heat it, because, you know, out toward the edge, obviously it's stretching more, and then closer to the inside, it's stretching less. And, you know, what I've learned so far over time is you want to heat it more progressively. You know, out there where it stretches more, you want more heat. Where it's not stretching as much, you don't want anywhere near as much heat. So, you know, it's really weird, and that the heating process has gotten so complex, you know. And in order to get that heat like that in there in one step, you know, you have to build some pretty crazy stuff to heat at different amounts in different places. And, you know, it's really something to see, because the process now isn't even the same as it was 2 months ago. Wow. It's constantly evolving. You know, every single port I make, I try my best to study it. You know, I used to look at every single one of them intensively. But, you know, it's gotten to the point that I just don't have time to do that no more. So, you know, I try to, you know, spend as much time as I can studying them, but I do eventually run out of time because, you know, it's just so much to do.
Well, you're also getting way better at it, way more consistent, where you don't really have to do that.
Yeah, it's the consistency has come a long way, and that's been a big help. You know, because before, when everything was less refined, you know, this run might be one way, this run might be another way. And, you know, I've figured out ways to monitor these things a little bit better and to monitor them automatically. I can automatically monitor all the temperature stuff. I have audible alarms if things get to a certain point I don't want it at. You know, it's really come a long way. So.
Yeah, so backtrack a little bit. You was just a regular audio guy and just said, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna make my own ports now.
You know, I started messing around with audio in the late 90s. I think I built my first box in like 1997, 96, 97. So, you know, I've been in it a while, and it's always been fun to me. And around, I don't know, the early 2000s, I got, you know, a little more into it. And I realized, you know, I learned that there was this whole internet culture, you know, about car audio, and I started studying all that. And
on the forums?
Well, just browsing around the internet in general. I don't even think I ever found out about forums until like 2004. But I got online and I started finding people, and I'm going to name out two of them that really drove me to learn more. Michael Hughes and John Nolte.
Wow.
I came across those two guys online. I started following Michael Hughes and his SPL stuff, and that's where I learned that competitions, existed, because I didn't know. I'm a small town Georgia guy. We don't have that stuff here where I live, and so I kind of got into that, and then I saw what John Nolte was doing with like the snail shell boxes and.
Dude, nobody remembers those, man. And that was the craziest thing ever on like Realm of Excursion, the snail shell box. You don't remember that, Taylor?
No.
Oh,
he had.
I do not even own an account on Realm of
Excursion. It was like a port that like kept wrapping around and looked like a snail shell in the middle or whatever,
I mean, I think I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that, and he did the double shot too.
Yeah.
And and seeing these kind of started, kind of getting my mind going on boxes.
Shut up, Fred.
So really, learning what I learned about boxes, I can really thank John Nolte for kind of piquing my interest on that. And so I kind of started building from there. I did a lot of competition in the mid-90s for a couple of years. I got bored with it, because I don't know. Once my car was built, I just lost interest, and
I know the feeling.
But now when working on ports, I kind of think back, and kind of my basis for how I do things is I always think back to what would have made my job easier back in 2005. Back when I was competing, and that's kind of, where the basis for everything comes along in a way. So
what's your background? Like, are you a machinist, or are you what do you do?
Okay. So I've worked in,
he works in the sewage and drainage department, bro. Georgia,
state
of Georgia.
That's one of the few things I haven't ever done.
That's where he gets all the ports from, bro. Get out of there.
I did woodworking for a long time. Making cabinet doors, making solid wood entry doors for houses, building windows, wooden windows, things like that. All kinds of custom woodworking. And, I did that for a long time, and I've always done car audio on the side along with it. Even for, brief point for a year or two, I did car audio for a living back in the early 2000s. And at that point, I kind of got bored with it and hurried because I was so young and my mind was always on, one thing this day, another thing the next day. And, I also did CNC machining for a while. I did tool and die work. I was learning CNC programming and all of that kind of stuff. So, I've done a little bit of everything. So, but it's always been manufacturing or car audio. So that's kind of my background.
Are you, is BigAss Ports your full-time?
No.
That's your full-time job?
No, because my mind stays too busy. Anytime I'm not working, I'm trying to figure out something I can do. BigAss Ports, it's not my full-time, but it is kind of in a way. My other thing is really my full-time, but it's mainly to keep me busy because, if I don't have anything to do, I'll just get restless and I'll start going. So
I know that feeling too.
It's more just to occupy my time.
It's funny you weren't near one of the first ones to do aeroports or started making them. Well, I guess I don't think Precision might have been the first mainstream ones.
Yeah, I mean, they're what you're gonna associate aeroports with.
Right. It's just crazy how many people made them though before. Like even Derek Haddock, I bought one from him like I don't know 10 years ago.
Nuh-uh.
Swear to God, ask him.
My first I've seen Precision Port and all that kind of stuff. But my first time dealing with one that actually somebody made out of sewer pipe.
Yeah.
Was it was at World Finals in Louisville, Kentucky in 2006. And I can't remember whose car it was in. I want to think there was some guy from the Midwest. I think his last name was Alfonso or something like that. And he had a CRX and he had some ports in there that were made out of the sewer pipe like that. So that was the first time I'd ever seen that done.
No flares, just straight pipe, no flares.
No, it was flared,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, they
but
fancy.
it was like 6 inch or something like that. My second time seeing it was what was it? CarAudio.com, I think. Back around 2010, there was a guy like Adrian something or another that was making them and selling them.
Hmm.
And I mean, I've been building boxes all along, and I always liked using them. And it got to a point to where I was doing a lot of boxes, and people wanted boxes and they wanted ports on them. It's like, well, if you don't have the port today, then I'll just get somebody else to do it all together because I'm not waiting. So I started making them just to have something on hand. So
this was 2010 ish.
No, this all built up to late 2016.
Okay.
So around August or September, I think it was. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first I don't remember Derek Haddock ports or any of the guys you're talking about. The first like port that I remember was Psychoacoustics.
Yeah, the metal ones.
The metal ports.
Oh yeah, the ones that had the two pieces that kind of slid inside of each other.
Yep. That you could adjust the length. Like that was a game changer for me, especially being an SPL guy and needing to test different lengths and wanting to change tuning on the fly. Like that was a game changer. But
right, and
it was a pain in the nuts.
When I started, it was every couple of days somebody would message me and ask if I could make one adjustable length. And I told them, I said, look, I ain't got a clue how to do it. And I said, I've got a few concepts, but building a machine to, make the parts work would be insane because it would have involved some really different stuff than what we have now. So,
well, I mean, it was awesome. It was like at the time it was a game changer, and I think I told Brett this before you came on that I think that's one of the things that people really appreciate about your ports now is that the Versatune. Like that's huge. It's a big deal. Even though a lot of people already know the length that they need, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Psycho.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned over the years because I built thousands of boxes over the years. And I've learned that unless you're just the luckiest guy on the planet, you're never going to get that box 100% right dead off from the beginning. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does, you may as well go play the Powerball.
Mm-hmm.
So, I learned years and years ago that tweaking the box is just something you got to do. And, cutting ports down the old way, with like a slot port or something, that took weeks to really, really, really do it right. And now you can do that in 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real nice.
Yeah, I love the interlocking Versatune. It's so incredibly handy.
It's convenient. And one of the other things I like about it as far as, box builders and things goes is really, I look at it as kind of like an insurance policy. Because if you build the box and the customer doesn't like something about the way it sounds, then you have a chance to correct it quickly with no extra money or work involved.
Mm-hmm.
As to where with the wooden slot port, you're stuck with a box you don't like, or you're stuck having to rebuild a box.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest thing about aero ports. Just the ease of changing tunability. Just on the fly too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you ain't getting in there with a sawzall cutting off the slot port, and make it look nice after,
Yeah, that's the thing, making it look nice.
Yeah.
It seems like every other day we get a thread about square or slot versus arrow, and I'm telling you that one video you made, like I try to explain it to people all the time, every time it comes up, but that one video you made is like the seminal work on round versus square or rectangle.
As funny as that is, that was just an old junk piece of plywood I picked up, and
yeah, I noticed.
I did that. I was sitting at the house getting ready to go get something to eat, and the idea popped in my head, and I run over there right quick. But
did you upload that? We need that. That needs to be linkable.
I've actually got I've got some old write-ups from the I think they're still pinned on the Steve Mead designs forum, and enclosure section. There's one in there. I think it's from like 2009 or 2010. There's another. I actually did a really, really big write up on it back around 2007, I think it was. But I can't even remember what website it was on. But it was just a huge write up.
What's your screen name on the forums?
On Steve Mead Designs, it was Huge Erection.
Huge Erection.
Yeah, I'm a real character.
Oh, that's
one
good.
time on a different group, it was URATYTWAD. You're a tightwad.
All right. I don't recognize either one of those screen names.
No.
That's funny.
It's been around a while. I used that since like 2003, I think.
I think the biggest thing why y'all who's the other big guy? The other one, I don't even know if he still does them anymore, or he hardly ever has them in stock though either. But I bought from all of y'all. What's the other one? Audible Engineering.
Yeah,
but
he
kind of fizzled out, I guess.
Decided to close it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he closed up shop.
Oh, did it? I didn't know if it was. Yep. I ordered from every one of y'all, but he was like the first one that had him like all the time, you know.
Yep.
Like without custom.
I understand him. I do. I know he's got his thing. He wants to spend his time with his family, and I get that. I struggle with the same thing. So.
Oh, is that why he closed up?
Not
just because you were wrecking him.
Well, I mean, he has health problems too, and I understand all of that because I have health problems myself, and I struggle with a thing with my family. So I get him 100%. Mm-hmm. I do. I understand it, and like I said, I've struggled with the same decision before.
Mm-hmm.
But,
You have health problems?
Yeah, I have a bad spine, and I was in a motorcycle wreck a few years ago, and I about got killed in that. So,
I mean, haven't we all really?
You'll see that in the video, like I'm constantly moving, I won't stop, and it's because I can't really sit still because I'll get hurting really bad. So,
jeez. Motorcycles, bro.
Skip, don't ever get a motorcycle.
Nah, I never. I'll kill myself on it. I just know.
Yeah, I got I
got
run over. A guy in a big 4-door Toyota Tundra decided to come through a stop sign, and I got run over, and helmet got knocked off my head before I got run over, and the front wheel of the truck went across my chest, and the back tire ran across my head. So, I got pretty lucky.
Somebody.
If I was really lucky, the asshole wouldn't have never run over me. So.
Well, that's true.
Somebody just posted a link to the Steve Mead Designs.
Yeah.
Your thread.
Sweet.
You have a sticky on SMD. That's like quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but.
It was back in 2008 or something.
I'm glad that I'm glad the information's there and it was pinned, and people still look at it. So.
No, see me. SMD is still one of the most active. I mean, if you can consider it that active. But SMD is probably still the most active car audio.
I still log in every now and then. I do.
Me too. I'll log in at Car Audio Classifieds and catch up the Ask T-Fade Anything thread, and then I'll check in on everybody else. I really don't like the new layout of caraudio.com for some reason. Like maybe I'm just used to the old way, but
I wonder why precision sound ports. They dominated the market forever until y'all started making them, but I wonder why they stopped at 6-inch though. Forever all they had was the 4-inch.
I don't know.
I wonder why they stopped though. And then they made that stupid little ring around the 6-inch one where you had to cut it, like you couldn't just cut it to 6-inch. It was so odd. Like it was just, I don't know. And then they stopped at 6-inch. That's why I think y'all took off big, is because y'all. What's the biggest one you got? You got 15 now, or?
No, the biggest
12?
I'm doing now is 10.
10? Okay. We did a couple custom ones.
15 at the point, and it got to where I just can't physically handle that material, and I can't really find it. And then recently I had to quit with the 12-inch because it's just getting to where I can't really handle that anymore. After my wreck, I never gave myself time to heal, and I'm kind of paying for it now. So,
I think with the PSP ports, they probably just don't want to pay for another tooling. You know what I mean? They have the 3 and the 4 and the 6.
Yeah.
That probably cost them $1 million to do the 3 of those, and
if they're doing what I think they're doing, which would be an injection molded,
yeah,
ABS process, setting up that kind of tooling is expensive. I wish like hell I could afford to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't. I'll never be able to afford that kind of tooling. That's high dollar.
well, we'll look back on this podcast as the day you said that, and in 10 years you'll be like cranking them out.
Well, now I actually have a lead I'm chasing right now that I might be able to get the pipe I use in black.
Oh, game changer.
And
that is a game changer.
If I can get this pipe in black, that's going to be the big thing. I could get the big companies to run it for me, but I'd have to buy like 25,000 feet of each size.
Jesus.
And that's just not exactly in our budget here. So if I can get with this other company I heard about, and get them to do the black pipe for me in smaller runs than 25,000 feet, we might have something we can work with. So, but I feel like
I think that would be a game changer.
If I could get it in black, it would be everywhere then. So,
right. Yeah, Joey. Once you go black, we get that joke.
Nah.
Joey,
can you crank them out? I mean, is that something you can do? Like, let's say you can get it in black, and everybody wants them all of a sudden. Like, can you handle that kind of volume?
Can you handle the black?
Well, it's going to depend on a few things. I'd have to, be able to work steadily. That would be a big thing. Right now it's kind of, we typically go in every day and work several hours, but to turn out a huge quantity, like if I wanted to turn out 200 a day, I mean, it would be a hell of a stretch to do it, and it would all have to be like 6-inch and 8-inch size.
You mean with your full-time job or just side?
No, better than to even try that.
Okay.
But
you also keep saying we. You recently just brought somebody on, didn't you?
I got a friend of mine that helps. He's doing really good. So I'm just gonna say a friend of mine because I don't know if he wants his name put out there.
No, we ain't gonna try to dig it out of you.
Is it Neil Barber?
But he's doing really good. He's learning fast. He's got an advantage that I didn't have when I started this, and that is that he has a teacher.
Hello.
So he's got that advantage, and it took him 2 weeks to get the flares to the point it took me 2 years to get them to. So because he didn't have to try 10,000 different combinations.
I cannot even imagine the amount of PVC you went through to try to get those things right, man. Holy crap.
I can tell you, I've gone through a pile of molds. That's for sure. I've probably made 50 different molds.
Jeez.
And I make them in house. So, it's time intensive on my end, but like I'm about to do another version of the 6, another version of the 8, and probably another version of the 10 because I've got an improvement I'm going to make on it. So
there you go.
You got version? You got V3s on here?
The 6s are at the 4th version right now.
Wow. Now what change? What's the? Go ahead. Sorry.
8s are the 3rd version, and I believe the 10s are the 3rd version right now. But there's been a lot of test molds in between.
So, what is it? You just refining the process, or are you making improvements to? What's the versions? From version 1 to now, if you can say.
When I'm going to kind of geek out here for a minute.
Please.
Forgive me. I tend to look at these ports, and when I study them, I try to think of it all parametrically. In looking at it all, I have to try to think of what the aerodynamics of it is. And I have to think about how air disperses and all of that. So, I know that the air is not going to disperse the most efficiently on just a radius, like a portion of a circle. I know that it's going to disperse in a certain way. So what has to happen is I have to be able to make this shape, that I use for the contour profile of the flare, as I call it. I have to make that work exponentially with the way the air is moving out of the port, because I know that it's, the the velocity of the air is going to change, and it's not going to be at an absolute perfect rate like it would have to be if a radius was the most efficient way to do it. So, we use an elliptical shape for this. And what we do is we try to look at the way most people are going to design a box and what's going to be considered, your most common across the board acceptable port velocity. And we have to look at that at the frequency range people typically tune at. So I have to make this shape work, the most efficiently as possible at this, typical port velocity range. And it's pretty scientific, but it's real tricky to do. And it takes a lot of time, studying this thing on a computer, mapping it out, wavefront simulators, all kinds of stuff. So, I can spend hours and hours and hours and hours on it and make such a minimal change, and you'd be surprised at what the difference it can make.
What's the vent mock range that you design yours for to be optimal?
It depends. The first versions of it were not really as refined into that, and as it's gone, it's changed from version to version. I'd really not rather go that far into it, because that all that does is open up for debate on online forums. So
we love the drama.
People love it, but I hate having to deal with it. So
well, we do.
Over the last 2 years to only go so far into something unless you want to deal with a bunch of talk. So,
well, we have a lot of published data on ports thanks to JBL and AES, and I have acceptable vent mocks, and we have certain, we have radii that are optimal, and unfortunately, the optimal radius for a port it's untenable. It's too big, so we have to do what we can do.
Right, in a practical application.
Right, and but normally I think it's pretty universal for us to say that 30 meters per second is about as much as anybody wants to get after.
Right. And when I design personally, I typically stay in that area for, I'd say, about 60% of what I do. Certain, things where, like, let's say I'm dealing with a box that's got to be really shallow, and I know that I'm going to have a resonance issue with this box and it's going to clash with what the cabin wants. Sometimes I'll make changes to that if I think I'm going to need the extra mechanical control on the sub. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes compression can be a good thing. I mean, it's rare, really rare, but sometimes compression is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, every install is different. So
it's like the old wise tale of, like, you need back pressure with an exhaust. Like, you'll make more power if you,
right?
Instead of just open exhaust versus a header and a.
Dude, I remember having those arguments back in the day. And they're like, well, why doesn't everyone just run open header? Like, literally open headers, no header.
Yeah. People figured it out now, though.
Yeah, well, people figured it out that it was the scavenging effect and it was the velocity. Mm-hmm. That was good. Another thing that people don't understand about ports is you can actually have too low of a vent mock where it starts to work against you.
Yeah, I mean, and that number, depending on how picky you want to be. I mean, really, you can be way off anyway, and there's no really, depending on how particular you want to be, there's just that one little spot that's actually, perfect, depending on what your, how tight you want your tolerances to be on that kind of thing. So,
well, without like testing each individual application, I mean, generally speaking, if you get below 10 meters per second, it's going to start hurting you. So, I mean, we all say you want vent mock as low as possible, but if you get it too low, it can be bad. You'll start unloading. I mean, you might as well be free air at that point. So you do, quote unquote, like, don't at me, but you do want some back pressure.
Yeah. Right. And that's kind of why, I don't generalize port area or anything like that. Everything I do is, extremely calculated. So,
what do
like
you
rule of
tell?
thumb, like
Yeah,
rule
what
of
do you
thumb,
tell people when they say I need certain port area per cube? What do you tell them?
Uh, I probably tell them too much is what I do because I'm one of those people. I'm probably the most against rule of thumb of anybody on this planet. So yeah, I just any of that rule of thumb generalization, I'm just dead set against it.
So basically, I'll just go over it. I'll just say it for you. The port area per cube is horseshit, and just get away from it.
Well, I mean, it doesn't factor in anything. It's just a blind number. It doesn't factor in, like, let's say this 12-inch sub has, 30 mil X max. This one has 15. How in the hell are you going to do the same, thing for that?
That's right.
And then let's say you're tuning at 35 hertz or you're tuning at 30 hertz. I mean, I don't see how anybody could generalize to the point of using the same port area for that.
Well, I blame Digital Designs on that for that, honestly,
Yeah.
because I think that's where it originated. Because they
I remember 2004. I was looking around at information about box design, and I came across their website, and I came across the port area per cubic foot at 14 inches long, I think was what they recommended. And I remember coming across that.
Dude, there are people on Facebook right now that will link you to that as gospel. Like that is their source that they're citing. That like Digital Designs came up with VentMach or something. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm sorry. They popularized the cubic inch per cubic foot rule because a lot of their woofers happen to fall within that range, perhaps. But like,
Right.
There's no mention of VentMach or compression or anything in that very, very small snippet of what they tell you. And
yeah, but see, here's the thing. I feel like that information is good in a way because there's some people out there that would, that even that amount of information is great to them and it helps them do better work than they would ever do without it.
I get that.
So, I feel like that information, I guess in a way you could call it a necessary evil, maybe. I don't know. Not everyone's going to devote years of their time to, learning the true ins and outs of enclosure design.
No, look, I'm not suggesting people bust out the slide rule and learn, advanced algebra to figure out how big their port needs to be. If you want to use that rule of thumb, that's fine. I'm just saying it's not technically correct. And if you want to delve into it the way that we do on a lot of the groups and forums that we're on, then let's not perpetuate this rule of thumb. If you're just trying to build a box for a lot of the woofers that we use today, all right, go ahead with it. You know what I mean? But don't come in and espouse that it's the best way to do it when it's not. I mean, all this math has been worked out already. We already know how to do this math, and it's been known for a long time.
Yeah, when I do an enclosure design, because I used to design for other people, and I've got to where I don't do that no more. I haven't done that in a while, and I use there's a program I made for my computer. I wrote it all myself. It's the way I like to design boxes. It's set up for my style, and in the first step of that process, if I'm designing for somebody, I look at where they live, I figure out their elevations, I figure out their density, because that affects the speed of sound. And the first thing I have to do is set the estimated or calculated speed of sound where they live so that I know I'm calculating the right thing. That's how my process starts, if that tells you kind of where I like to go with it all.
We got that thick air down south here.
Bro.
I need the lows.
It affects the speed of sound, so naturally that's where I have to start.
Arrow for the win.
I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with you, but I don't know if the elevation affects the speed of sound so much.
Well, I mean, is it a difference you're going to notice to the ear? No, but for me, I kind of geek out and I get caught up on detail sometimes. So for me, it may be a difference that you know, 9 out of 10 people would never notice, but I still know it's there. So
I know the weather. Sure. I know the weather kills my score though. Whew. It sucks.
Air density.
Yeah, that's what it is. The cold. I mean, I lost like I think I messaged Taylor too. I lost like 3 dBs, like, and it went down like 30 degrees. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna kill myself now, because I did all these mods, and I'm like, all right, well, let me test this, and prop 3 dB down. I'm like, no.
Nah, for sure affects pressure. For sure affects pressure, but the speed, not so much. We actually had a conversation about this the other day, as a lot of the SQ guys were talking about how they had to retune their cars when they went from one location to the other. And a lot of people were postulating that it was temperature, humidity, and the speed of sound in such, that in such temperature and humidity that it was like throwing off their staging. And doesn't they were actually saying it was like where you're at in the venue too, like how close are you to the edge,
to the
like
door,
to the walls of the venue versus being in the center.
That's getting a little too far right there.
I know. I have to call bullshit on the whole thing. They will swear and be damned though that it was night and day from one spot to the other. And I just gotta say,
what I'm talking about is like more going like from Georgia, where we're 150 feet above sea level, to going somewhere that's like a mile above sea level. That's kind of where I'm talking about going.
I'm not sure if it's so much the speed of sound as it is the pressure, though. You know what I mean? So you're still in the same vein. I just don't think it's the speed of sound that we're talking about.
Michael Powell says is it the weather? That's why you got 5th place at finals, Taylor?
Well, air density.
Did I get 5th or 4th? Maybe it was 5th.
It's fucked up.
Air density.
It's fucked up, Michael.
It does, have a slight impact on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I said, it's not nothing you're really going to hear by the year though. So.
Everybody go to Drew Jones' page right now and call him a bitch because he ain't doing the drive-by to hear Taylor on Taylor's mic. He said
he's probably just waiting for somebody to.
That Georgia Wi-Fi. You broke up just now.
I said he might have just been waiting for somebody to say something. He might be sitting down at the end of the block.
He ain't doing shit. He ain't loud enough.
God. No, it was definitely the weather between here and there, Michael. Not the prefab.
Yeah, he's built for Louisiana.
That's right. 100%. Louisville is like way different. I swear to God, I had 5 dB between here and there.
Yeah, Brandy, get on Drew, bro. Go. We need that drive by. So it's funny. I feel like a lot more people use too much port now. I mean, like back in the day, I used to just throw a 6-inch port in 410s, like 4Q box, and it just was dirty. It was just nasty. But now it feels like somebody would throw like a 10-inch port on that, and be like, play. It'd be loud, but it just seems weirder now. It seems everybody's moving toward that.
I've seen people use some. I don't know. I guess I would consider it questionable amounts of port area.
Right.
But I know everybody's got a different way of building. Everybody's got different goals they're going for. Every car is different. Every sub's different. So, over the years, I've just last couple of years, I've gotten where I don't really pay it much attention anymore. So I've seen some of them that I thought would be kind of weird that turned out great. So
the world of audio. It's stupid.
Yeah.
You just got to try it. Just try it. If it works, man, hey.
Well, you get it just depends on your application. Because a lot of people in their car can get away with way less or way shorter port than they think because of boundary loading or some other sort of loading, mutual coupling. That's gonna lower their effective tune versus what they think it may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I kind of checked out a lot of that stuff years ago back when I was competing. I had a PT Cruiser.
Hey.
No.
No, listen to me. To this day,
you're the other one.
Car to build in.
Yeah, you and Drew Jones.
Well, I took that car and with the same equipment, I probably built 200 different boxes. with the same sub, same amp, same car. And this was where I really started kind of developing my way of designing boxes. And, you know, I kind of did so many different boxes, and every single one of them I did, I'd stop. I'd say, okay, I did this different right here. This was my result. I start doing a bunch of math, trying to figure out how to make it all, you know, kind of corroborate with each other. And, you know, between that and doing a lot of online research, testing a lot of little theories and things over a few hundred boxes, I ended up coming up with a, you know, fairly well-defined way that I personally design boxes. So, because, you know, I was able to take the other variables out. I was able to take the car variable out and the equipment variable out. So the only thing changing was the box.
Yeah, that's a lot. It seems like a really self-evident thing, but something a lot of people don't understand is you have to eliminate like one variable at a time. Like when you're testing things, you can't change 12 things.
I'm horrible at that.
Yes. Right. One thing, dude. One thing, test. One thing, test. One thing, test.
Right.
You can't change 12 things and then try to figure out which one it was.
You know, I can't tell you. I probably built 50 boxes that were the exact same size. You know, as far as port area, port length, and internal volume. And I built several boxes, and what I would do is it would always be the same internal volume, the same basic specs everybody goes by. And what I did was I was playing with the dimensions of the box. And, you know, what I started learning is, you know, about the resonance of the box as far as from where your subs are mounted, you know, whatever panel they're into, whatever panel directly opposes it.
Oh, here we go.
And I started doing a lot of math on that, and I started figuring out the internal resonances of the box. And I started realizing how much that in itself, the box depth, even plays into the in-tuning of the box. You know, all that stuff kind of starts coming in. And, you know, I started playing around with doing math on the resonances of the cabin versus the resonances of the box, the way I was doing the tuning of the box, and, you know, extensive notes, hours and hours and hours of studying the results. And I finally, you know, kind of come up with the way I do it.
I was literally waiting for you to stop talking to say the golden ratio, and Jerry chimed in already. I'm glad somebody else knows about the golden ratio.
Hey, yo.
Jerry who?
Jerry Messick.
Oh, okay.
The golden ratio. I'm not even gonna explain it. You guys just look.
I don't know what it is, dude. I hate when I don't know this shit. And I don't
look it up.
I'm not looking it up though.
Look it up.
Fuck it. I don't care.
Science.
Yeah, but even the shell of the Nautilus is based on the golden ratio.
That's right. Well, that's Fibonacci.
Right, and you know that's where a lot of my where I started getting into math. I was horrible at math in school, and then after I you know got out of high school, I started kind of diving back into math, and it all started on, you know, studying Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah,
it's funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah, well, that's because it's interesting now. If they would have talked, you know, if they would have talked about it and taught it in that way, maybe we'd all be friggin' geniuses.
I was at the time I was playing guitar in a couple of bands, and we would come up with
bass or lead.
Do what now?
Bass or lead guitar?
Lead guitar. Well, kind of all of it, really.
All right.
But, you know, we would come up with parts of songs, and we would arrange them by basing, you know, signing things different ways and basing them off of Fibonacci sequence. It was really weird and geeky, but it was kind of fun. So,
I don't know what the golden rule is. Golden ratio. I'm not gonna look it up either, but it is like, I mean, I get what you're talking about. Like, that's what me and like Tommy K was talking about on the show one time. They made like they figured out the box that like if they made it longer this way and the port all the way in the back, it was louder than just straight across with a port the same thing, you know? Like just I don't know. Shut up, Taylor. You're so stupid.
I'm saying you're stumbling across things.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand a lot of stuff. I don't. But I don't know the technical shit. Like, I don't know why it does that, but like I understand how it does it.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about as far as the enclosure dimensions go?
Yeah, like if you make a box, I don't know, 30 by 30 by 30, and then you make one 15 by 60 by, you know, whatever, it changes. It could change everything. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's the same way.
Shut
like
up, Taylor.
the cabin of a car. You know, a longer cabin, when you do your math, you know, you have a longer wavelength at play there. So, you know, naturally, let's say that vehicle might want to play something on a lower frequency. It's the same thing with the box design. Your shallower boxes are going to have a higher, you know, resonance because it's a shorter wavelength.
You're stumbling upon some Illuminati shit.
Yeah. There's too much Illuminati going on there.
There is. You're stumbling on some shit.
I still see.
Stumbling on to it.
Fuck jockers.
Speaking of ports, didn't you just do some port testing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still got to release it, but that is funny stuff.
Oh, did you not put it out?
I put out the sealed portion, but I still got 2 more portions.
All right. Well, so anybody's not watching, or anybody who hasn't heard yet,
I put you in a 60 by 15 box, Joey. So I did a sealed prefab box from eBay for $40 shipped. It's worth the money. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't care what anybody says. It is worth the money. Listen, when I'm just looking for real, when I'm just looking for like in between builds base, I will get one of those prefabs from one of the locals. Yeah. I don't get it from Amazon. I get it from one of the locals here. But
eBay, shout out
100%, dude. Just toss it in there. Don't give a shit.
Oh yeah. So I metered that, in my car and did whatever. And then nobody knows yet. Well, I guess most people know. Some people know. Then I that's stupid. I cut a hole in the side of it and put a 4-inch port, precision port, that I had, and then burped that and seen where the decibels went. Then I cut a bigger hole and went to 6-inch. See what that and burped that. See where that went. But it was just funny to see how they all reacted in there, and what the gains were and if they gained at all.
Did you?
No, shut up. I didn't do it at the same frequency. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I did it. I did it wherever the loudest was. I didn't care about.
So you just did full length for both?
Yeah.
You're killing me. You tainted the data.
That's not tainted.
You and me, we got to get together on these things.
I already told you the idea we need to do, but you lazy. But yeah, it was just cool seeing how how just a simple hole with a port in it just transformed a sealed box.
I know. Wait, have you released the scores yet?
No.
All right. Well, you'll have to. You guys
have to
tune in.
It was substantial.
You guys will have to tune in to Skip 01 to see the difference in scores. But
yeah,
I'm dying to know. Actually, I do already know the difference in scores, but
I don't know.
It will surprise you. It will surprise you between sealed and ported.
Yeah. The sealed wasn't bad though, honestly.
It really wasn't. Although that's a shit ton of power to put to a sealed box.
Yeah, dude. I kind of effed up the Sundown U series cone. It kind of like.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it kind of bubbled.
Ah, crap!
It didn't like 7,000 watts in a sealed box.
So all future testing is now. Tainted.
Yeah, probably so.
God damn it!
All right, shut up.
Do you make a 4 there, Benjamin?
No, I was trying to bring it back out, but I don't think I'm gonna do those again. It's it was just one of those things that having that set up in the shop was really just more in the way than anything.
Yeah, nobody uses 4 no more except USAC.
Well, if you're gonna have a 4, you're probably just gonna buy the PSP and be done with it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, may as well at that point.
Yeah.
It's just something, something that size is easy enough for anybody to cut on a miter saw. When you get the 6-inch pipe, you can't just lop through that on a miter saw. So with those 4-inch PSPs, people just kind of trim them down themselves really easily, and it works.
Mm-hmm. I'm a guess.
I still work with PSP from time to time. I mean, I do. If I need something small, I'll snag a PSP in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think they make a 2-inch too. Something stupid.
Yeah, they got I think 2, 3, 4, and 6.
That's crazy. What's the different material they use? They're thin. Is it just? It's not like some kind of.
I think it's just ABS plastic.
Is it really?
I think it's just injection molded ABS plastic.
If you went that small, thin, you probably couldn't stretch it much.
I've done down to 2-inch.
No, I mean like the thinness of the PVC, the actual plastic. Not PVC, but you know what I mean.
I mean, I've worked with 4-inch that small, that thin. It's not that bad.
No, the thickness of the pipe itself, the thickness.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I've worked with the 4-inch pipe I typically work with.
Okay.
Real thin like that.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that stuff heats up quick too.
Yeah, I bet. I just want to see your burn pile of effed up ports. Like where they just went, just bubbled up or something.
Yeah.
Give me some B stock ports.
I really don't have a lot of those.
Not anymore, I bet, huh?
No, I've gotten it all. I've made the process a little more scientific, and that's eliminated a lot of that. So.
Yeah. We've all been there with the. I've never tried it, but we've seen all the ones on forums of guys, with a bowling ball and hot boiling water, making one. I'd imagine your process is about similar, the bowling ball cut in half.
The thing about that, I can't get anybody down for doing DIY. I feel like DIY is a great thing. I like when people do stuff themselves. They take a lot more pride in it.
Right.
And somebody that makes support like that, it may not be perfect, but, they did it. And they can be proud of that, and they can take pride in it. And I respect it because, I was always a DIY guy. And I guess with them, I still am.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Just a bigger process.
I think it's great. But, the thing about it to me is that, with a bowl or a bowling ball or, anything like that, your port's just going to have like this big concave shape to it as to where the flare needs to be convex. You need a convex curvature, not a concave, because a concave curvature is just going to create more turbulence than if you didn't have it at all.
Oh, knowledge. Taylor, skeptical hippo.
Now, I believe Taylor knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he does.
I do.
He knows twice, maybe. No, he doesn't. No,
that's my biggest
It's vortex
issue
shedding. Vortex shedding.
That's stupid.
What we're talking about.
That's just my biggest issue with the bowl thing. Is just that I know it's kind of it's kind of a counterproductive shape that you get. So.
Right. That's funny.
It makes it mountable, and if that's what you're going for, then that works.
I've actually tried to make my own. Not even tried. I succeeded in making my own, but man, it's a messy business, and I'm famous for being lazy, so I just soon pay you to do it.
Why need ports? All you gotta use a bucket
or a bucket.
Yeah,
I've seen it done.
If me and Taylor ever get out to Georgia, we need a flare, a bucket.
Oh my God,
that would be so
holy
legit.
Dude, can you flare a bucket for me, please? Special edition.
Hey, it has to have the handle on it still, though.
You have to either be able to put the handle back on it or still on.
Do the other side. Cut the other side, the bottom off.
I might actually try that. Since you asked.
Oh my God!
Yo.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh, this is getting wild. After dark.
Please.
What would it be? What's a bucket? That's like, it's got to be like 12 inches across.
Well, yeah. 11 and a half. Yeah,
oh my
11.
God. It wouldn't.
Please flare me a bucket. Please, 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 please. It's not over 12, Zen.
Do what now?
Zen Rashu says it's over 12 inches. No,
I don't think it's over.
It's like 11.
It would be stupid, though, but still, it would be hilarious just to try it.
Please flare me a bucket.
11.9, that would be sweet.
I think that might be exactly.
If it was 11.9 inch diameter, I could throw that right on my 12-inch mold.
I'm almost positive it's exactly that size.
And Taylor,
it has to be a Homer. It cannot be.
Yeah, Taylor don't ever know Lowe's.
Lowe's.
Oh, okay.
Lowe's is too fancy for Taylor.
No, we cannot have no Lowe's bullshit.
I don't even go to Home Depot. Home Depot is ass. Home Depot is like the place you throw peanut shells on the restroom floor.
Dude, what is wrong with you?
They're shit.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, see? He don't either. Fuck out of here, Taylor. Lowe's, bruh.
So apparently y'all don't buy wood.
Of course, I don't really shop Lowe's either. We have a
don't you say that Canadian shit. Don't you
hardware that I buy from.
Don't you say that
Canadian shit.
That is some Canadian shit.
Menards. Who said something about that?
Where the crap is Menards?
South Canada is where they got that shit.
That is South Canada. That's
the
where
only
you
place
live,
I've
right?
ever seen a Menards is on TV.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know they existed. Somebody said something about it.
What kind of lumber are you buying at Lowe's?
The finest quality.
No, I'm serious. What are you buying at Lowe's to build boxes with?
It's got everything. What do you mean? 29 by 50s, whatever that stupid fraction is.
No, I'm serious. Like, what do you buy? What do you?
The 7-ply pine.
No, there's not.
Okay.
You bring your ass down here and show me where it's at.
I'll go tomorrow.
Does it have one side that's like painted or something?
No.
That's all we have at the Lowe's by my house. There's
you got that redneck
one
Lowe's.
side is painted or something. And it's like $50 a sheet.
It is expensive.
So one side's painted?
You mean like it's white? It's like a fancy side, like a show board? Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Okay, what that is you're looking at melamine.
No.
Yeah, you're looking at face cancer.
I'm just telling you, Home Depot has the cabinet grade AC ply, cheaper than MDF, and that's what I use. So everyone else can suck it. I also use Ryobi tools, so everyone in the comments don't at me.
Oh God, I feel sorry for you.
What's up? What? Who wants to fight? Who wants to fight?
You got that?
Look, I'm like down to here. I'm ready to fight.
Somebody in the comments going, mean face, strong arm.
Yeah. He's sponsored by Home Depot, I feel. He's always got a problem against Lowe's. Lowe's is awesome.
Fuck Lowe's, dude.
It's so much nicer. It's like air conditioned.
Dude, this is not like Walmart versus Target.
It's
Home Depot is where it's at.
Lowe's is like Whole Foods. And Home Depot's
not even Harbor Freight, so we can still get along.
Okay? Yeah, I like Harbor. Harbor Freight is the
Harbor
best.
Freight is the shit.
If you need a wrench, I'm not going anywhere but Harbor Freight. I don't care if it breaks tomorrow.
Harbor Freight.
I become a Matco junkie, so.
Matco?
Yeah, I became a Matco junkie. I used to buy Harbor Freight.
I became a Milwaukee junkie. All their tools are superior than everything. I'm sorry.
Me and Joey gonna fight. He talking shit about my Ryobi.
I told you, bro. Feel sorry for you.
Well, I'm a Bosch guy when it comes to cordless tools, but my second is Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I ain't really got nothing against Ryobi.
Primed white birch. Is that what I'm talking about?
DeWalt sucks. I hate DeWalt.
I hate DeWalt.
I got a bad battery in there right now, just dying.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Tyler. It's like one side is like some, like regular wood, and the other side is like sort of like rough white, like whitewashed bullshit, and that's the only like cabinet grade plywood they have there. And I'm just used to using the what is it? The 2330 seconds.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
AC ply at Home Depot.
Rigid. I got you. You don't get out of here, Joey. Rigid.
Black & Decker. That's what I'm talking about. Dude, for real, no shit. People. I've had the same Black & Decker jigsaw that I bought at Walmart. I shit you not, like 10 or 11 years ago. And let me
tell you something. I had one of those. I bet I know the same one you're talking about. It has the little spout down at the front that blows air out to keep the chip.
Y'all gay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bought a few of those and they keep getting stolen.
Oh my God. I cannot kill that thing. I have cut with some of the best jigsaws money can buy, and nothing compares to that stupid ass little cheap. I don't even know what it costs. $30.
Like I said, my favorite thing about it was that it had that little spout and it would blow air out to keep all the chips away from the blade.
Oh,
that was my favorite damn thing about that saw.
Y'all fancy. Y'all fancy.
And I love that. I don't know why every damn jigsaw on the market's got a fan in it to keep it cool. Why can't they all put the thing down there like that where you actually need it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Open in their face,
Literally the most expensive jigsaw I have ever used in my life. I feel like they did it on purpose to like pile the wood shavings up on the line you're cutting, like all on purpose or something. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I've always hated that. That shit drives me up the wall.
Tyler Bratcher and I are on the same page. He knows exactly what I'm talking about with that shitty wood that Lowe's sells.
Yeah, what kind of screws y'all use?
Coarse thread drywall.
Yeah, that's all you need. I use those Parts Express ones you get with the little self-tapping thing. Bro, send it.
What?
With the little fat head on it. I'm joking.
The washer head?
Yeah. I don't build boxes. ever.
Drew, if you're not here yet, bro, you're too late because we're about to sign off. We're about to wrap this up.
What I could guess, but what's your most popular port? Period.
6.
8-inch.
8-inch. I figured
What?
it. I was gonna guess that. I was gonna guess that.
Wait, how much is your
in the
6?
shop? Like in the shop, I'll typically see 2 8s to every 6, and then I'll see like, I don't know, 5 6s to every 10. So
how much is your 6?
they're $38.50 on the website plus you.
That's for the Versatune. How long do you get?
No, it'll go out to 22.
So that's a 6-inch Versatune out to 22 inches is $38.
Yeah, and it'll go all the way down to 7.5 with the changes we made a few weeks back.
How much? Somebody look up how much a PSP is.
37 something.
They're like,
they went up in price a lot the last couple of years.
I think they're like $30 plus shipping.
Yeah, I mean the 4 to the 6 on the PSP.
Oh yeah, it's absurd. Yeah, it's absurd.
So basically, what you're saying is there's literally zero reason to buy a PSP versus your shit.
Right.
Oh, I mean, I would never say that. The PSP is going to be more
I'm saying it.
appealing.
And it's only 18. I think it's 18 inches. The length.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go to 17. If you look on the website, I actually have one on there called the Basic Fixed Length.
Yeah, I like that.
Which is the 6-inch I make that is more comparable to that product. And it is $29. And the thing about it is it'll go all the way down to like 6 or 7 inches with just the flares. But with the way the kit comes, it starts at 22. So, you got like an extra 5 inches of length there for about the same price.
And we all could use that.
So, the only thing is, you'd have to paint it as to where, the other port is already black. So
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just in the minority where I really do not give a crap about aesthetics.
I don't either.
Me either, really. I like to build pretty stuff, but if I have to sacrifice the performance of it to make it pretty,
right?
It's going to.
That's right. I'm all about function over form. Skylar, right. I used to use Spax for everything, but they have that little bit at the top there that doesn't have threads, and it's shit for holding subs down. So I don't use Spax anymore. Although I do love Spax if they didn't have that little bit, especially for ports. If you ever try to drill a port in, you only have that much to put a port in.
Now
I hate Spax screws.
Oh my god, I love the like the idea of them, but as far as using it for what any general purpose screws, no shit.
Let me geek out right here for a second. Okay?
I got another question too, because
let me geek right quick about these Spax screws. You see a lot of people that talk about them online, and I think they get caught up in just a cool looking screw because you got the ones that has the shank of the screw, and then it'll have like a section of threads at the top right under the head, and then it's got a smooth section and it's got more threads. Well, I mean, if you're building a box, this is the worst possible screw you could use, because what you want when you're building boxes, you want for that top bit of that shank to be smooth, because you don't want that grip in the wood. You want the head of the screw to grip the top of the wood, and for the threads on the screw to be into the piece below what you're trying to pull down. That way, all of your force is actually pulling the pieces together, versus some of your force being involved in trying to strip out that top section of threads so you can pull the pieces on together. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why I hate those screws. That's why I like the Power Pros and the GRKs. That's what I like. You don't have to counterbore them because they'll flush themselves. They have a little bit of a cutting surface under them. They have another thing on the shank that keeps it from squealing, but at the same time, the top of the shank's still smooth. And they're a coated deck screw, so they'll be there forever. Versus like a nickel-plated screw, which is going to start rusting if you live in like a moist environment, or if you're close to the coast, the salt will get them. And like a zinc-plated screw is just going to, it's going to be gone before too long.
I'm hoping we don't have to deal or worry about those properties inside of a car. But hey, I tell you what, if put a link to those screws you're talking about on your Facebook. Tell us what you like. And Skip had a question for you.
So what's the perfect way to measure your port length? Is it just straight from the flare to flare, Or if
no, there's going to be a tangency point within the curvature of that flare that's going to be the accurate spot to measure to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just go by the straight section, and you don't go from
flare
total
to flare.
end.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to be some mid tangency point off within that curvature. My program I use to calculate boxes here, I've already compensated for it. And, like with the 6s, it's about 1.25 inches, to do that length correction.
Mm.
And with the 8-inch, it's about 1.5 inches, 1 5/8. It's hard to measure it dead perfect,
Mm.
And with the 10s, it's more like 2 inches.
So it's half the radius, right? So you already know your radius, and so we can calculate that perfectly.
Well, now, like I was saying earlier, on these ports don't use a radius. They're an elliptical curvature. So that's why I say it's off around that tangency, middle tangency area, kind of. It's hard to say just, half of a radius, because it's not a radius.
Well, tenfold. I like that.
It's kind of more of a shape like if you're familiar with wind instruments like tubas or trombones or trumpets or anything like that, the bell of one of those isn't a radius. It's elliptical.
Yeah. I tell people all the time that elliptical, an ellipse is actually the perfect shape for a port. Because yours has a straight section, but the radius needs to be an ellipse, and the radius is important. Right? It's not just like how big or if it's curved at all.
Yeah, because you can take that ellipse and make slight tweaks to it to make it work exponentially with the change in velocity of the air as it exits the port.
That's right.
So, as to where a radius isn't going to, be at the same rate as that velocity slows down.
But in general, just measure it flare to flare and use it as a factor.
Yeah, you get a little.
Trust me,
you get a little lower tune,
If the shit is tuned, but 34 to 33.2, like it's not gonna. It's fine. It's fine. Just people. I love the fact that people get like ate up with the details, and I love that because I'm a detailed kind of guy. I like talking all that shit and science and all that, but just use it as a fudge factor, man.
I've had people call me before, and they'll order their port, and I'd like to get them within a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch length. Most people are satisfied with that. Most people
plenty
should be. But I've had people call me and say, "Hey, man, I got my port and it's a 1/16 of an inch too long."
Oh my god!
I'll stay on the phone with them. I'll talk to them and I'll say, "Well, chances are your calculations are more off than that." And they say, "No, I know what length I calculate." And I tell them, "Okay, what size port did you put in? Did you put this in as 6 or did you put it in as 5.915?" And they'll tell me I put it in as 6, and I say, "Okay, you're already wrong then."
Already.
People bust me up over a 1/16 of an inch in length when, they're not even calculating the right size port.
No, I mean, literally, when people get this crazy, I ask them if they've calculated the sawdust left in the box or the caulk.
I'm not trying to talk bad about people that do that. I can be pretty particular myself when it comes to numbers, but at the same time, kind of the moral of the story is, that chances are, the math on that end is going to be more wrong than what's being
not the math, the building is going to be off. You're going to be off by a 16. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole box.
Skylar, box. We've been talking about port area the whole time, bro. You've been here the whole time. We've been talking about port area.
And what you were talking about too, about being off anyway. Most people calculate as 3/4 of an inch, but 8 out of 10 are using 23-30 seconds. So they're automatically off there too.
Like a nub.
That's me. I use
through 2 layers. You're calculating a 1/16 different than what your box is, and let's say you got a box that's going 24 by 36 by 18. You do an extra 1/16 each way on the inside. You're getting a fairly calculable amount of difference there. So
what is up with the wood Illuminati? They're constantly giving us less and less wood. Like a 2x4 is not a 2x4 anymore.
Oh my god!
It's not a fucking 2x4.
Well, like I said, I worked in that stuff for a living for a long time.
Bull crap.
And a lot of people also don't realize the different kinds of plywood you got. You got all kinds of different cores in plywood. I personally like to work with a combi core plywood. It might not be but 6 or 7 layers, but they're good old, they're big, thick layers of wood, and they're laid in alternated directions with the grain. So in the end, you end up getting a much stronger piece of wood. So,
so slot versus arrow. Unbiased.
I still build boxes with slot ports. I built 2 last week with slot ports.
Oh, why?
What?
Why?
How's that possible?
Yeah, why?
Because it fit the installation.
It's like,
when are you gonna start making 90s, crackhead?
I've never made them. Most people can.
You need to like end this interview right now and go out there and make some 90s.
No, listen. Here's what most people don't realize.
Just make a circle.
If you had, any town is going to have a local plumbing and electrical supply. You can buy them there. I don't have any way to make them. For a time I was, putting them on the website, but that's all I was doing was sourcing them from a local plumbing supply and just selling them for what I had in them.
Okay.
I was just breaking even on those.
Do that.
It's a lot of hassle to keep up with.
So yeah, the reason people will use a slot versus an arrow, there's the only reason is if you need to bend it.
Yeah, that or
more length.
Yeah.
Yeah, that or cost.
Circle always. Well, yeah, it's true. That's also why people use ports over passive radiators. But yeah, circle beats square every time. Every time. There's no literally zero argument about it.
It's the circle of life, not the square of life.
I swear I see this every day, every other day. Is people talk about the sound differences between an arrow, quote unquote, meaning a circle port versus a slot or a square port, and I'm like, are you retarded? No,
I like some slot ports when I had them. I don't know.
Are you retarded?
Maybe, but they were nice. The two.
I've built thousands of boxes with slot ports.
There's no sonic difference between the two. Everyone who says so is retarded.
I mean,
period.
It's PVC versus wood, which is natural.
No, it is
natural.
Friggin' port velocity. No, I'm sorry.
That's why the high end audio guys don't use PVC boxes.
Stop. Just quit. There's no audible difference between shapes. Stop.
Yeah, the shape itself. Yeah. Years ago when
hang on.
I was working on a box for William Gay, and we were doing that oval port. Everybody was like, "Man, that oval's gonna sound stupid, or it's gonna sound like crap, or oval's not gonna sound no good." And the whole time I'm thinking, man, what does an oval sound like? Tell me what
best
an
possible
oval
shape.
Like.
I hate when I see octo ports. That's just a random thought I had. I just hate them. They look so ugly. They look ugly.
I
don't know. They're pretty dope.
No.
I did it years ago, but I prefer to go more like with a 16-sided polygon, just because at that point you're getting to something that's more like a completely round port. So.
You're approximating a round port.
Just do a huge curved one then if you're doing all that. Huh? I don't know.
What? Have you ever tried to make a round port out of wood?
For sure.
Yeah,
I've done a couple of them.
You could do it. I've seen it. Look at all them guys that make the seat out of wood. You seen that last one? Who did that? Daniel Powell?
That was nice.
Yes. And those door panels. Who that? Ray Pembley had them door panels made out of wood? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. That was it right there.
Like, I would take that 1,000 times over any kind of vinyl covered door. That just looks...
Why don't people do this more often?
Gately built that?
Who did?
Didn't he say Bobby Gately built
that?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. And you seen Bobby Gately did a little... I don't know what that box is.
I'm not going to lie. For real, the first person I saw do that was Nick Woodgrains McMillan. And then we had a couple of larger names making them that way. And
he's by the door panels?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I guess they're just stupid heavy, so you need some kind of heavy door-ish thing.
There's some sexy shit.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
It's magnificent.
That seat, that seat they made out of freaking wood too. Oh my god.
Yes, that was a beautiful install.
I mean,
oh yeah, oh my god, yeah, the seat.
Was that was that the DD? That was the DD build, wasn't it?
I don't remember what it was. I saw the woodwork and I didn't even pay attention to the equipment.
Yeah,
I mean, it had my attention. It had 100% of my attention.
It's got to ride
is all in.
It's got to ride like ass, but yeah.
You know what I mean? That is all in. Like Daniel Powell's build.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The sexiest shit ever.
Dude,
wait, that's not his seat though.
No, yeah, that's just his center console.
Yeah.
I wonder how that works acoustically. Like it's got to be louder, don't you think?
Well, yeah. It's all
resonant it's a port.
Rigid.
It's a port down to the floor.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
It's got to be, it's got to be really good for it to, help hold the pressure and all.
Yeah,
got to be.
Now we need some big PVC and make a PVC seat.
Here we go.
We're getting somewhere, dude.
I'm not going there.
Mold it.
I'm legitimately trying to wait until Drew's stupid ass comes to my house.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm like trying to drag it out.
If he doesn't make it, he's not allowed to order from BigAss Ports. And everybody go on his page and post a penis pic.
Yeah.
It's going to be funny as hell if he rides by and T-Fade goes blurry for a second.
Yeah.
That's going to be funny.
That's not going to happen.
His internet just goes bop.
Definitely not going to.
He's going to run around the house hooping and hollering like Patrick from SpongeBob.
I would rather him just come up here and be like, "What up, motherfucker?"
Bitch, we just mentioned that, Jordan. Daniel Powell's seat. Get out of here.
Wait, is that Daniel Powell's?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the one with the center console. That's not the seat, though.
That's not the seats, though.
I don't know who the seat is for, but he might have built it. Maybe.
No, I don't think that's Dan Powell's seat. Is it the one with the bench seat and all?
No,
slick.
Daniel Powell's got that center console that's slick, all wood, with DVs.
Dan Powell be doing some crazy shit, dude.
Yeah, he does.
I own a T-shirt from Dan Powell. Holla, J-Car. G-Car. J-Car.
I've always wondered how that's pronounced.
So. Me too.
What?
Either way.
G-Car?
Yeah. J-E-C-A-R.
It's Hey-Car, like, Hispanic.
Stop it, please. Somebody tag Daniel Powell.
Yeah.
I tell you, another build I really like.
Oh, he said he's talking about Dan Powell from Homo.
Oh, my bad.
What?
Oh, Dan Powell's got that, like, horn thing.
Yeah, that's a T-line.
Yeah.
215 T-line.
You ever mess with those with aeroports? I don't know.
I don't know. You can't really.
I mean, you can. Make a horn out of a horn enclosure out of a PVC.
I wouldn't begin to even know how I'd handle the manufacturing side of something like that.
Get on it.
That would be fantastic.
I like playing with horn enclosures. I like playing with tapered T-lines and all that kind of stuff. That's as far as enclosures go, that's where about 90% of my fascination tends to be.
I don't believe in
drive every day.
What do I drive?
Yeah, do you have like some crazy shit in your car?
Mine's got stock.
That's about right.
Even the speakers and the doors are stock. I never listen.
I swear to God,
that's every answer from every
answer. Every manufacturer we've ever had on here. Hang on. I hear something.
Wait.
Can y'all hear that?
No.
You're not going blurry yet either.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Is that him?
I don't know.
That ain't him.
Every manufacturer we've had on here, every one of them has stock audio in their stinking cars.
Well, it's hilarious. Like you know what they say, man. The mechanic has oil leak. The plumber has leaky pipes.
Yeah, the barber has the worst haircut.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you're just ready to go to sleep. You're not thinking, hey, I'm off work today. I'm gonna do it again in my own car. So.
Jordan says he's at racetrack. That's like really close to my house. Y'all are killing me, dude. It was Jordan.
Says that Drew's there.
He's probably trolling, but it was funny. I talked to Joey Semino a lot, and I was messaging him a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, a couple months ago, when it was, and he kept sending me pictures of him following you into just no return land.
I love that. I love it.
We were we were coming out here. You know, here where I live, it's like way off the beaten path. You know, we're like 4 miles from closest paved road.
So what else? What else are y'all making out there? Let's be honest.
Hello.
The stream shut off. I promise.
Hello.
Nothing incriminating. Y'all making something out there.
Area?
I don't know.
You and Joey got along, didn't you?
Yeah.
This is farmland out here.
Exactly.
Where you at, Joey? Where you at, Joey?
Hey, Joey, I enjoyed meeting Joey. Joey's a really cool guy, and he's
no one has ever said that about Joey. Stop lying.
That
Go
is
ahead.
not true.
Joey's actually one of my favorite people to deal with.
Oh my god.
He is one of my favorite people too.
He's a
because
douche.
because Joey's real. You know what I mean? And I like somebody.
You know what I dig about Joey is he is sneaky smarter than you. He's sneaky smart, dude, for real.
Yeah, I like Joey, and he has good taste in pickup trucks too, because I have a Tundra.
He's a shit taste in Chargers, but you know what are you gonna do? Just kidding, Joey. I know that's your lady. Joey.
It's true.
Yeah, Joey,
I actually wish I had a love affair with a vehicle the way that Joey has with his Charger. Honestly, I swear to God, and Skip with his Civic. Yeah. And you probably have a love affair with some random ass vehicle, whatever it is. I wish
my truck,
I had that.
I love my truck, man.
Tundra?
Oh yeah. I love that damn truck.
You don't have a Tundra.
He just said he did.
Yeah, I got a 4-door Tundra.
I thought you got run over by a Tundra.
I did. But that one was blue.
He sued the guy and took it from him.
So you wouldn't like tame the beast by buying one. It crushed your skull, and you went out and bought one. Screw that damn truck.
Actually, I still deal with a lot of issues with that. If I'm driving and I see one of those bright electric blue Tundras coming my way, I'll flip out. Like I was at work a couple of weeks ago, and an electric blue Tundra came in the shop, and I saw it from the wrong angle, and I spent the next 3 hours outside having a nervous breakdown. It affects me that way when I see one, because it's just this, flashback type thing, I guess. I don't know.
I hear him.
And, I'll have nightmares about it, but,
face your demons.
What it is.
Joey said, go to the car lot and face your demons.
He's hungry as shit for some bass.
He is.
I need it.
You hear it?
I heard him. What the hell, man?
Bro, that dude
hit me.
He's been losing DBs ever since he's bragged on that thing. What a dude.
He's got a fever, and the only prescription is more DBs.
Hey.
The fever. I got the fever.
That's right.
He don't got it.
Hey, look. Benjamin, we gotta wrap this up, Big Daddy.
I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware how smart you are. Like, I legit just thought you were just smushing hot pipe on a bowling ball.
No, I mean those of us
dude, it's crazy.
His live streams know how smart he is.
I know.
It's a long way from that.
I don't think I'm friends with you on Facebook, sadly, but I will be changing
What?
that
Are you serious?
I'm not friends with nobody. I hardly ever ask to be friends with people. They gotta come get the Skip.
Oh my God, that is the most Jonathan Price. That is the most annoying thing I've ever heard anyone.
You better like my photos. That's a good. But I'll friend request you tonight, because I need to get in on the knowledge
immediately.
Because Fade don't give it to me. Fade just laughs in my face.
I may be slow to respond to it because, online's one of those weird things.
Are you at the max yet?
Oh, I just got a text from Mama said somebody's in the driveway.
Oh my God! Hell? Call the police.
No, yeah, call the. I'm gonna text her right now. Call
the cops.
Drew, get the hell out of my driveway.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We said drive by, not park and pound.
They said he was gonna do it in style.
We didn't even hear it on stream though. What a loser.
No, I mean Are you kidding me?
But yeah, I was amazed.
Dude, it has been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Benjamin Galley's an awfully smart feller.
Yeah. Get more live stream and get more content out there.
Shit. Hang on.
Oh God. Is he up there? Oh my God.
Oh shit.
We didn't hear it. We didn't hear it.
It's not even like a roll up. It's like a.
Right, he's got his muscle there with him.
Jeez.
Hey, if anybody wants to be friends with me, request me. I don't request.
Right in front of his house.
We didn't hear that.
Your wife heard.
Jeez. I'm getting invaded right now. We got to go. We gotta go.
That's so
End it.
stupid.
And oh my God! Stop it! Stop it!
This is awkward.
Mm.
I appreciate you being on, sir. This was informative. We could have
It's been fun.
We could have geeked out more, man, but I don't know.
But yeah, we got interrupted.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. We need a part 2 when you come out with some revisions and let us in on it.
Yeah, it ought to be pretty soon, actually.
Ooh.
I've got a few things I've been testing already. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 30 seconds. What's new in the pipeline? You think? Can you tell us about anything, or if you don't want to, you don't have to.
The next version of the flares.
Ooh, next version.
The next version with some increased efficiency, or it should be an increased efficiency for a majority of people that use it. That's what we go for.
Now, do you have any of the version 1 still?
I've got.
That would be interesting to just throw
somewhere, I think.
Just for a swap in. Crap! I had another question too. Taylor, you still there?
I'm still here.
Can I ask one more question?
It's under duress, but I'm here.
I'm asking more questions. It's the only ones I've ever seen, but they sold them. Precision ports. They sold dimpled flares.
Oh, man, we should have got into that.
I know. I'm going to save it, though. I'm going to save it, but unless you... I don't know. What do you think about dimpled flares?
Useless.
I've seen people dimple ports in game before.
Right.
I think it was it Jonathan DeMuth that did that back around 05, I think it was.
Oh, might have been.
I think he was testing it a lot.
Him and Ed Lester?
I don't know if Ed was or not. Is he the one that did like a big flared port and the flare? Okay, I remember seeing that.
Well, they were always together over there. I think they're kind of by you too. Huh? They're in Georgia too.
Jonathan DeMuth was up around Atlanta, I think. I don't know where Ed Lester was from.
Yeah, he might be somewhere else. I don't know where he's at.
Was he in Tennessee or Kentucky or something? I don't know.
All right, we're signing off.
Yeah, sorry.
We're signing off.
All right,
appreciate it, sir.
All right.
Love you,
Big
Ass Sports.
All right.